And previously on the crappy Turbo Micra build.
I can't believe it. Still the lowest power car I've ever had on here.
Currently, I'm broken down on the M25.
I know the principles of a clutch, so how hard can it be?
I don't know if I'll see one that bad.
So I think this might be it for the Micra. It's not turning over.
Why has always happened to us? Right, now stop there. This is where you have a quick look, make sure nothing else is connected.
What's the screen?
Well, go the other way then, Bellend.
I'm holding.
That way.
2, 1. Well, it's not seized. Yes! Right, unfortunately, let's just get to the...
That's how
Well,
close.
there you go.
That is how close we got. It's running and driving. To keep it short, the braided oil line to the turbo has come into contact with the bracket for the horn. Big deal. But somehow it's burnt it. That is evidence of what's happened. So,
If you enjoyed this episode, I know Stu's enjoyed it. What should they do, Stu?
there you go, see? Hey!
Welcome back, one and all. We are here with said nightmare. So the nightmare that we've been having with the Micra, we've been trying to get it to work. There's a short somewhere along the line which is causing issues. So the main plan for it today is to try and get it working without shorting out, because obviously in the last video you would have seen it was shorting out against the oil return or feed, one or the other. And it basically pierced a hole, and it was like a main vein artery pissing out oil everywhere. So we've got to try and work out where this power's coming from to the engine or what have you, and then give it a bit of a run, because we do have one last opportunity to get it to a show, and that show is tomorrow, which is Oh So Retro, which is our friend's show. He's been doing it for years. It's an amazing show down in our local area, which is just around the corner. The main objective today is get the Micra up and running without a problem, drive it up and down the road, test it, see if it actually works. The objective is blow up the engine, race Boris first, blow up the engine while racing Boris, and then figure out what to do with it. We need to know what engines do you want to see in the car? I know there's been a few SR20s, K20s, 180s. Basically, we would be looking for a car that's a whole car that's been in an accident before, and we can basically use everything off of that to try and put into that, even if it's rear engine, whatever. But let's have a look around this Micra, see what's up with it, and see if we can get something going. So while looking at the top of the engine, it was shorting off of here. So obviously there's power going in there. That was obviously the return feed or whatever. I don't bloody know mechanics. I'm still learning, but was touching this bit of the body. So even if we took the horn off, it's not going to work. But this bit of the body, which then pierced the hole, and it's come off and pissed all the oil down there. From what I've seen around the top, there's nothing that is actually causing it. The only thing that I did notice, which I have put on, is there is, obviously you've got your earth here, and underneath is another switch, which I wasn't plugged in. I've plugged that in. That's probably going to make no difference. This is random. Don't know what that's all about. So that's random. What other randoms have I got? 2 more randoms. Not a clue what they're off, but something else. And the only other but we did make sure that, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the actual earth cable is going to the gearbox. But we'll have a look underneath. Does this thing work? No, 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 pointless. Does this one work? Oh, that one works, that will do. If you didn't see before, there is our exhaust system. So this bit is a little bit like when you get them automatic flaps, but they're not automatic flaps now. You just have to manually make it louder. So pull that down, makes it louder. Push it back up, makes it quieter. That's how you do modern day do-it-yourself flaps on your exhaust. Now, the main part here is there was a random cable that was exposed, which I've covered up with a bit of duct tape, and the starter motor seems to be hooked up fine. Yeah, it seems to be all okay. There's the random wire that I gaffer taped up, make sure it's not touching anything, and that. But obviously I can't start it up to see if any of them little bits, the little switch at the top. Yeah, sorry, whether the switch at the top is working or not, or if that was a problem. But from the body, we're going to probably gaffer tape round that just to make sure that it doesn't hit the hose. And we'll go from there, see if it actually runs a little bit better. This is the first time I near enough put the engine in myself, and I'm not a mechanic. I'm lucky if I've done, like, I'm just about good enough doing brakes and suspension. That's it, but anything else is a bit too much for me. Once we get the oil feed, we'll be able to find out if it actually is going to be okay. But I'm going to gaffer tape that little bit up so it doesn't touch when we start it up, and see if it runs all right. And also just got to wait for the other two to turn up. Owen said he'd be here at 1:30. Owen says a lot of things, but it's never usually true. Nick will be here at 1:30 with the feed, so we can get that added then.
So, as Stu has probably said on camera now, I've gone off to our local marina, because, oh yeah, we live near a marina. You don't live in a marina? And we've managed to get a braided line made up in like 3 hours. So fair play to Marlick Marine. If you have a yacht and you need some stuff, or a turbo feed for a Micra, there you go. But in my absence, instead of sorting the problem, Stu has decided to strip out the Micra. Stuff is kind of everywhere. You've been a busy boy, but not in the right places.
Yeah, but there's nothing I can do. I'm not a mechanic. I've looked for wires. I've found wires. I needed this little posh hose you got.
So this is the braided line I picked up. The guy said something about twin core, whatever that means. But that sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's not like...
We've attached it there.
I preferred hardcore, but
hardcore.
Twin core's got to be.
Anything going off your search history, you definitely prefer hardcore.
Yep. So now I'm just gaffer taping so it don't conduct. Well, obviously it ain't because it's got rubber on it now, but there is still metal. But I want to do this so it doesn't split anything. Wait for Forrest to double check everything and then give it a bit of a test, or we may just test it in the morning, just see if it runs right.
Once again, we are the day before a show, aren't we, doing this?
Yeah.
Why do we like this?
Because nowhere was open and couldn't do the hose. Now we've got the hose, which I would only do on a Saturday, which for me is a bit odd.
Yeah.
But I am just making sure that we don't conduct off of everything. I did find a couple of clips, as I said earlier, sorted them out, sorted an exposed wire, and I'm going from there really. So this just putting this bit on.
Yeah.
Onto there, see if it runs.
You're going to need this bit.
I'm going to need that bit, yeah.
Well, we'll start it up and then see if anything else, and it might, hopefully now, it might idle all right, because with it arcing, it was having a bit of a bad idle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was having a bit of a bad idle. Well, it may have been arcing all that time, but
yeah.
I didn't smell anything to be able to tell that it was arcing beforehand, because you saw the smoke that came out.
Yeah, yeah,
smoke
like a sparkler, yeah.
So we're going to try this.
All right, let's try that.
Right, cable on, so we're going to give it a test just to see if any oil's pissing out, if it revs all right. We've covered it here, so it shouldn't be touching metal on metal. Obviously we've got a cabled hose now.
Here we go.
I just don't know.
No, well, we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, this is going to be danger zone. That's danger zone.
All the oil feeds and returns are
we'll soon know.
Danger zone.
And if anything arcs or sparks or smokes, I'll just yell out.
Okay.
This is the third test.
No, it's more than that.
I suppose, probably. Is that a gear before I get run over?
Yeah.
Waggle your dildo wand. I mean, first inspection. Oh, stop, pissing out oil. Pissing out oil from that new bit, so it needs to be tightened up.
It's not coming out of the head though, is it?
It's coming out of the join, so maybe we need to then button this one up as well.
We'll continue.
Try now. So before, it was sort of pissing out between these two bits here, so try now. Dry as a bone. It's alright.
Don't trust it.
What we'll do, we'll go for a drive up the road and back, shall we?
I think so, yeah.
Because it was pulling away from junctions when it was under strain, wasn't it? And it was stuttering.
Junctions were the issue
That stopped us going to Nebworth.
Yeah. So
I mean, this show could not be more on our doorstep.
I know, it's literally up the road. So if we do break down, great, leave it there, go to the show, come back, get it later.
And get it later, yeah.
That's not a problem.
It's literally, what, 4 miles?
If this would have broke on the way to Nebworth, I would have left it there and never gone back.
You love a recovery truck.
I don't know, it was like 7 hours of pure hell. Then I had to swap from one driver to another driver because he was out of his area. No, I'm not.
Well, let's go for a quick road test. We'll button everything up.
Shall we move the boot delete and everything?
Oh yeah, walk me through your boot delete.
Okay, so the boot delete.
I left you alone for half a day and you've done this.
I was bored because obviously all the drama, so I ripped everything out. So I've still left the bolts in there because we've got harnesses that have been dropped off. And the reason why we're taking all of that out, which probably weighs about 1 kilo because it's crap, if you come and look at this, we have...
roll cage.
Now get this, roll cage, but it's universal. So I've never seen a universal roll cage
How hard
before.
can it be to fit?
So I think that's got to go in. And then to match Boris, we've got a 15-inch sub upstairs that we can put in. And then we're banging the tunes, and we've got basically a race Micra, which I wouldn't put on a track and wouldn't trust that if it rolled over.
Speaking of racing, speaking of Boris, we've challenged him, haven't we?
Well, yeah, everyone knows that we're after Boris, but that's getting towed there. I'm not driving that to go and race Boris. I'm going to tow it there, rag crap out of it. Yeah, trailer it there, rag crap out of it. If it blows up again, 1, happy fucking days.
Yeah.
2, happy fucking days.
And
I can get back home.
Engine they want us to put in it.
Well,
what do you want in it?
Well, for me, I don't really care what we put in it, but what we need to do is find a full car. So we've got looms, we've got everything. So if we've got everything from a car that we can take everything out of and put it in, but the problem is these are so shallow. It's such a shallow thing. If you put a K20 in, working that out, it's either the sump's too low or the head's too high. So we just have to poke the head out the bonnet.
Bonnet delete.
Bonnet delete, yeah.
Let's go for a road test then.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll be able to tell if there's something wrong by reversing it.
What if it struggles? The cinema's open, I see.
Yeah.
I swear that crack's getting bigger.
Part of the problem was when you turn the steering wheel, it's like it wasn't throwing up the revs enough to cover it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the minute,
It's still seeming a little bit.
we'll
We have literally just started it up though, so.
Well, it's not dying yet.
I mean, last time you drove this, you could barely pull out of Owens and park it on the street.
Yeah.
So, it's better than that.
Yeah, we'll wait until we have to.
I mean, if we go up to here and back, we've nearly made the show distance tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. It smells very fuel-y, doesn't it? It's still alive. Turning it there, that's still alive. We know him anyway.
We know him anyways. I still think it's mad that we just picked this engine up and we put it in. Right, Owen's a mechanic, but me and you don't know what we're doing. You've done most of it, and look at it now.
There is a boost leak, I can feel that.
What, a boost leak, yeah?
Yeah.
What, it's not pulling as well?
No.
Check them fuel lines.
Yeah, because it does smell very fuel-y, doesn't it?
But we did spill fuel a little bit. Oh, they are savage, aren't they? Oh.
Yes, so the Micra,
The initial drive went well.
the initial drive was okay. The accelerator cable needs to be sorted out, but it looks like the actual cable is one of the nuts to seize, so being able to adjust that's a bit of a...
Where it holds
knob.
onto the body.
Yeah, so other than that, it drove okay.
Considering,
Considering the issues that we had with the oil and the shorting out and everything else. We've checked the oil. It had none in it because
Little
we
to none.
dropped it all.
Yeah.
We've got to check the coolant tomorrow.
Yep.
What else did you check? We put the battery thing
The battery's
back on,
now
so
secured, it's not
moving around.
rattling around, yeah. So, I mean, realistically, it should drive 4 miles to the car show. But we're going to film that. You're going to film that. Stu's going to be in that. And we've still got the tow bar, the fix bar in there. So if anything goes wrong, we can tow it to the show. Yeah. Fingers crossed. So,
and as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Forrest was supposed to be here at 1 o'clock. And did he turn up at 1 o'clock? No, Nicholas did. But Mr. Forrest didn't.
No,
and that's what we have to work with every day, people. He said, oh, if we don't get involved with the engine's all going to be on him.
was a bit on him, but mostly on you.
How was it on it? How was it a bit? He spent 2 hours on it.
We've kind of been in here, though, haven't we?
Who gives a fuck?
And on that note, let's cut to Stu's drive to the show.
So we're in the Micra, so it's moving. It is the morning of litre, so I'm going to see if I can make it first drive. I'm moving. It hasn't died yet. At this point, last time, it didn't want to do anything. But at the minute, it's driving like it used to. Apart from, I haven't driven this car with a new clutch in, so it's a bit bitey. It's a bit bitey. It does smell of fuel, but the AFRs are all over the place. But we will go with that. But at the minute, it seems like the car's making it to the ball. Now, the show is only 4 miles away. Well, I think it's probably less than 4 miles, so I'll be pretty gutted if it didn't make it. If I cruise it, the AFRs are really good. But then if I let go and it's on idle, it's running rich, accelerating, it's then sort of running lean. So either way, there's no happy medium, but we have talked about getting a new regulator for it. Putting a new regulator for it in there, and the petrol gauge got worse. I had nearly 3/4 of a tank a minute ago. I've got 1/4 now. But yeah, hopefully this is the car done. We're not going to be using it as much as we did before. We are going to keep modifying it every week, but we just want the engine to last to race Boris. I know we keep going on about it, but I think that is the race. 12 grand versus less than 200 quid. But I am going to try around this corner to see if it boosts alright. I'd like to know if it boosts. So, at the minute, let's have a go. It's up temperature now. I don't even know where I'm going. It's boosting. It don't feel as quick as it was before. Oh, it stinks. I'm not sure if everything's up to scratch the way it should be. Yeah, it don't smell great. Yeah, I think there's a few more things we got to button up here, because it's not yeah, it's not smelling great. Have another go, but it doesn't feel like. Don't feel as quick as before, but maybe it's because the engine was on its way out. So I don't know. Cars are always quicker when the engines are about to blow. And we are at the show. So, yes. So the Micra made it to Oso Retro. It stinks a bit. It's not. It drives okay. We need to sort the accelerator cable out because I think we're losing power from that anyway. Because there's obviously the foot's not going straight to the floor and pulling the whole thing, so need to look at that. But other than that, yes, finally the Micra is back. We can probably start making plans to race Boris, and we've got a few more modifications that have been given to us from you guys. We've got a universal roll cage we're going to try and fit. We have race harnesses to go in the car. We've got other bits and bobs, but we'll get the roll cage in first. But you'll see us do that in the next video, and not only will you see us do that in the next video, the reason why I have this is because we are pulling this bad boy apart to find out what the hell went wrong.
We want a damage report, see what's going on in the guts.
So after we've got a damage report, this guy says he's going to make a table out of it.
Yeah, why not?
Is that right?
Yeah.
High five.
Fucking right.
Welcome back, Matt.
That's a high 4 from Matt.
High 4. High 4. 4.5.
High 4. We're going to have to do a t-shirt of high 4.
High 4.
High 4. Matt's t-shirt. So yeah, join us in the next video where we strip this apart, try and fit a universal roll cage. Didn't even know that was a thing, but supposedly it's a thing.
We'll find out, I think.
We'll find out. Other than that, if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe.
Hit the bell! Hit the bell!
So much more content coming up. This guy's a bell end.
There you go.
See you in the next one.
I hit the bell end.
Don't hit the bell end.
Oh, he literally did. We'll see you in the next video.